welcome once again to M Cubed. I am Brian, the Motley Mix Merchant. Thank you very much for dropping by. If it's the first time you've been here, I am a Canadian eBay reseller. I pick up most of my items at auctions, both live and online, and I turn them around and resell them on eBay to make a little bit of profit. And I'm having a lot of fun in the meantime, and I'm also chronicling it all right here on YouTube so people can learn from my mistakes and my successes. And it's been a pretty good, successful last 60 days or so, and the trend is continuing. And yes, we are continuing on through social distancing. I hope everybody is keeping well and keeping themselves at home. I am definitely doing that. I am officially laid off from my full-time job. For those of you, if I've never said it before, I'm not sure I have. I think I've been trying to keep it quiet, but I am in a entertainment type industry here in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, and we are officially closed for the time being. We do not know how long. We've been laid off by the company so we can collect unemployment benefits. So I may be unemployed for the next we're thinking 30 to 45 days from when last Sunday was our last day at work. So we shall see how long we're off. And in the meantime, for now, I'm still selling because the announcement was made yesterday that they're closing the Canadian-American border. But it's staying open to commercial traffic to keep the flow of goods moving. Well, I checked with my cross-border shipping company, and they are still in business, and they're still able to send their trucks over the river with their packages. So we'll see if that continues. The border's not closing until, as we speak, this coming weekend. Friday night into Saturday morning, they said, is when the border is officially going to close to non-essential traffic. But they consider commercial traffic as essential traffic because they want to keep the flow of goods moving across the borders. So we'll see if that continues, and I hope it does, because in the last hour or so, I've sold 3 items. And I don't need to ship them until Monday, and I'm not going to ship them. I could ship them tomorrow. I'm taping this on Thursday night, so I could ship them on Friday, but I'm going to wait in case I find out that the border is actually closed to my shipping company, and then I can cancel those orders and refund people their purchase money if it's not going to happen and it's not going to get shipped. But in the meantime, it's still busy. I know a lot of people on the Facebook groups have been talking about how slow it is and how nobody's buying anything. Well, I'm just as busy as I've ever been. It's so far today is what's the date? Today, as I'm taping this on the Thursday night, it's the 19th, and I've sold 22 items so far this month. So combine that with my 32 items in the month of February, and I'm doing pretty well so far over the last 60 days or so. I've sold 7 items since the last time I spoke with you a week ago, so keeping up my 1 per day average. But I've also sold 2 things since I have been preparing to make this video, which I'm not including in the video. So there's another 2 going to be on the next What's Sold video. So I'm going to go through what's sold, the 7 items that sold. I'm also going to show you something that I picked up in an online auction and see what your thoughts are on it. But yeah, online auctions are still happening here. The Goodwills, the Salvation Army, the thrift stores, they're all closing, if not closed already. I haven't even been going because I don't want to bother going with the crowds. I've been focusing on online auctions, and there was one that was ending just about 20 minutes ago, and that's what I was watching before I started taping this video episode. I won a lot of 14 vases, various vases. There's one red cut to clear large vase, really nice vase in there. There's a glass handbag vase, Murano type. There was no pictures of the stickers or anything like that, so regardless of whether it's Murano or not, it's a very nice looking vase, and that should be worth some money. So I paid $16 Canadian for the 14 vases online auction wise. And right now, the way the Canadian dollar has tanked in the last couple of weeks, $16 Canadian is about $10 US. So that's not bad when I'm going to be selling in US money. And that's another thing. I'm selling my goods still on eBay.com as a Canadian seller, and the exchange rate right now is 40%. So if I sell a $20 item, I'm making $28 Canadian on that. So that really covers the eBay and PayPal expenses, and now with the way the exchange is, as well as paying for the eBay and PayPal expenses, I'm still making another 25% on top of the purchase price when it gets converted into Canadian. So my profit margins are rising simply because of the falling Canadian dollar. So that's the way that's going right now. Okay, let's get started with what's sold. Off I come to the side a little bit. Here we go. Oh, by the way, yes, you don't adjust your set. This is the first time in about 27 years that I have not had a job or been searching for a job and I was required to be clean shaven, or I didn't want to bother growing it out because it doesn't grow out that quickly. So I am letting it go. I'm going to see what it looks like. My girlfriend really has no comment on it. I've never grown a beard. It's already very white, as you can see, with a couple of bald spots right there. But we'll see how they fill in the next couple of weeks, and it's either going to be sophisticated or scruffy as all heck. So we'll see how it looks on the next episode, maybe, if it's still there. We'll see. Okay? All right, let's get started. What's sold? Well, the funniest thing that happened is what's sold to the same person 2 times. A buyer in California picked up 2 of my Royal Albert teacup and saucer sets, but she didn't buy them at the same time, unfortunately. She bought one the other day, which I packaged up and shipped this morning, and about 2 hours later, this afternoon, she bought another one. Both beautiful Royal Albert sets, both sold for $25 each with free shipping, and the shipping costs about $9 to get it to California. And again, those teacup sets cost me probably 50 cents each, so a good $12 to $15 profit on each of the teacup and saucer sets. And off they go to the same house in California, Simi Valley, California. They're on their way to. So hope she enjoys them. Actually, it's funny because I messaged her and thanked her and said, sorry, I just shipped the other one, or I could have combined them and given you a little bit of a refund on the shipping. She said, that's okay. I'm supposed to be working from home, but I'm browsing on eBay from home, so it's okay. I'll don't worry about it. So I thought that was funny that instead of working, she's browsing. So I think that's what some people are doing. Anybody that has no worries about their income source, if they're working from home, or maybe they're self-employed or whatever and can work from home, there's still people out there buying. And so I'm still listing my 2 or 3 items per day, and it's paying off. The sales are continuing even through this social distancing that's going on. So we'll see how it continues as things progress here in the next 2 weeks or so. Carrying on, this item has been in my family since the 1960s. It was a painting that was on the walls of my house as I was growing up as a kid, but my father and stepmother have no interest in it. It is not something that I'm interested in either in having as far as decor goes in my house, and so I sold it. It is a beautiful blossom tree oil painting, not a print, actual oil painting, and the artist's name, I'm going to talk about this lady for a bit. Her name was Veneranda Vabalis. She was a local artist in the Niagara region of Ontario, Canada. But she was fairly well known. She's a listed artist in the National Archives of Canada. Fairly well known in this area for doing her landscapes. They are very, very popular. And the funny thing is, here's something that's interesting. I haven't seen any of her work for sale anywhere else ever. I mean, in the year that I've had my eyes on selling this painting, I've been looking up things, and I haven't had any luck in finding any of her paintings selling online, except for one a little while ago. Well, this auction that I just won the vases and a couple other lots on half an hour ago now, they were selling 3 paintings by the same artist, Benny Verbalis. And they went in the $70 to $100 range Canadian. So I think I did pretty well selling mine for $75 US, because right now that's about $105 Canadian. So good price for the oil painting. I'm going to put some pool noodles around the outside and wrap it up really well with cardboard and bubble wrap, and off it goes to Brooklyn, New York, I do believe. But that was a good sale. Something in the family for 40 years, 50 years almost, 50 years. And it's sad to see it go, because it's sort of not really an heirloom. It's a family piece, but nobody in the family really wants it anymore. So off it goes to find a new home in Brooklyn. Up next, something I showed you a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, 3 months ago now, maybe 3.5. It is the very first item that I ever purchased from the auction house in St. Catharines when I started going there back in early November, mid-November. I went to the one auction. Remember the auction where I got the tables full of hats and the tables full of mushroom canisters? Well, the first thing I bought at that auction was this. It's the McCoy grandfather clock cookie jar. Beautiful piece. It cost me $10 to get it, and it sold for $32 plus $10 towards the shipping. The shipping cost me about $11 US. So with the cost of the item being $10 Canadian, which was about $7 US at the time, I'm still making a good $20 profit all told. Once all the fees and everything are paid off, $20 plus Canadian profit on the McCoy grandfather clock cookie jar. The next item that I had listed for a while last summer, took all my clothing down, and then I just relisted it when I really started to list in earnest in the middle of January. It was a lot of 3 men's short sleeve shirts, vintage shirts, all single stitch. 2 of them were Tommy Hilfiger, one was a Levi's one. Sold them for $25 with free shipping. They cost me $11 to ship, and off they went to Texas. Cost of these was probably $7 or so altogether, because I remember buying them on half off day, so it was about $2.50 per shirt. So not a great amount of profit on this, but it was great to sell them, get some clothing out of the house, probably $8 profit when all said and done, so not bad. Then there was this Royal Albert vase. It was a Zandra Rhodes vase. Zandra Rhodes is a designer, and this one was called Favorite Things, I think. The vase also had a whole bouquet of hard plastic flowers. These were really, I had to really look at these to decide whether they were plastic or glass. That's how hard they were. But they were plastic, beautiful flowers, able to take them out and take them apart and put them into a nice smaller box. But they sold for $20 on a best offer, with $6 towards the shipping. Cost to me probably $1 in a box lot back before Christmas time or so. And so once the shipping, probably a good $15 profit once that one's said and done. So my average profit per item is definitely going up here as the exchange rate drops and as some of these bigger items sell. That, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I can just let these things sit in the store and sit in the store because I don't have very much money invested in them piece by piece. The average cost of my items, the 330 items or so that I have in my store right now, the average cost to me is less than $1 because of the bulk buys that I make when I'm doing the auctions. So, you know what? They can sit in the store and they can just eventually make me lots of money. Last but not least, another one that was really nice piece, and glad to see it go. It's a Japanese Yamaji vase, beautiful black vase with gold detailing. It went for $22 plus $10 towards the shipping. Again, it was a nice piece, only about 8 inches tall, so it fit into a fairly nice sized box. It wasn't going very far as well. I think it went to Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. So the cost on that was only about $10 to ship, and so I made probably $15 to $18 profit on that one because it cost me $5 Canadian at auction when I purchased it. That's one of the vases that I purchased on its own back before Christmas. So, you know what, not bad. Good profit margin on that. So the 7 items that sold, you know, average profit margin on each of them probably $18 to $20 when all is said and done. So I'm very happy with my average asking price and my average sales price and my average profit per item. So yeah, it's carrying on. My book's about to fall, so I'm just going to fix that briefly as I blast off the camera with my forehead. But yeah, it's still going well, and I'm still going to keep sourcing. This lot that I just got at the auction last half hour, that's going to keep me busy for a week or two, going through it, cleaning it, researching it, and listing them, taking pictures and all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad I got those. There's 3 lots that I got. I'll show you one thing when I get it next time on the next episode. It's very cute. Yeah, we'll be keeping myself busy for the next week with the purchase that I just made today online. And so what they did is it's a pickup item. So I always bid on stuff that's in my area. This one's just 15 minutes out of town. And they extended the pickup time. It was going to be only a 3-hour window to pick up. There was like 150 lots in this sale. But they had a 3-hour window, but the people from Max Sold contacted the seller and said you have to extend the window because they're only going to probably allow one person in the house at a time to pick up your stuff. So it's going to take a little while longer. So yeah, I'll go there on Saturday afternoon and stay 6 feet away from anybody else that's waiting in line and pick up my stuff and get busy on taking care of it and getting it up on the store, if the store is continuing after this weekend, that is. I think what I'm going to do is if they do close the border completely and I can't ship product over the border, I'm just going to take down my entire store because it just makes sense to me not to have anything up there. It's not really worth it to try and sell just to Canadians and pay the fees that I'm going to be paying in listing fees. I only sell probably 5% of my product to Canadians, so I might as well just take it all down. Save myself. I have like 25 listings, free listings left for this month, so I'll just cut it at that and start up again with a fresh new store next month. I think that's what I'm going to do. Leave me a message below. Should I just take down the entire store if I can't ship to the United States? I think that's my best plan. I don't know what else to do. I don't want to put it on vacation mode and extend my handling and all that kind of stuff, because that's just asking for trouble as somebody buys something and expects you to ship it even though you can't. So I don't know. I'm leaning towards shutting it down and taking a break and decompressing and going into complete social isolation and not even doing this. But I'm still doing it for the time being. So let me show you something I got last week. It wasn't really an online auction. It was a live auction, but I did an absentee bid. It was through the auction house that I usually go to in Niagara Falls, my friends at RT Auctions. But I got this. You probably saw this in the thumbnail. I'm going to back up a little bit so it doesn't blast you with the light. But it is this. It is a very old, vintage. What is that? Quick, think about it. What is that? Yes, it's a carrier. It's a carrier for the old-fashioned glass oil bottles. They used to bring this out to the car with the different kind of oils that the gas stations had, and they would carry this out to your car, and you would pick which kind of oil you wanted, and then they would pour it into your engine. It looks like it's been spray painted after, like recently, in the last 10 years or so. This is probably from the 1950s, 60s at the latest. But it appears to have been spray painted because there is rust and stuff under the spray paint. So it would be on top of the spray paint, on top of the paint, if this was the original finish. But it's still a great piece, and actually sort of makes it better for display purposes now that it's spray painted like this with the silver spray paint. So I paid $15 Canadian for this, which is about $10 US right now. So I'm thinking I'm going to list that probably for, they're selling in the $30 to $40 range when they're the old ones. I don't know. I may still try and do $30 to $40 on that. We'll see how the interest is after I list it, because it has been refinished. I don't know. I'm hesitant though to use Sue's method of oven cleaner to get the paint off, because I'm worried about what it's going to do to the stuff underneath as well. So, and it's also spray paint. It's not acrylic paint. So we'll see. I still have to research and think about what I'm going to do. I'll clean it up first. It's got some cobwebs you may have seen there, but we'll see how it turns out. I'll look at it and I'll research and make sure that there are other ones that are refinished or repainted, and see what they're going for, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what price I go for it. But for my cost, it's still going to be a profitable item. I'll at least double my money, if not more. So, as I always say, $15 to $20 profit per item is perfect for me all day, any day, every day. So I haven't used that in a while, have I? Yes. So anyhow, that's about it. That's what's going on here at the M Cube Motley Mixed Merchant household. Just trying to stay socially responsible and stay in the house as much as possible. Just really only leaving the house right now to get groceries and to take my items to the cross-border shipping company. That's about all I'm leaving the house for right now, and I hope you're doing the same. These are strange times, aren't they? Never thought I'd see something like this in my lifetime. I never thought I was one of the last people off the floor of my job on Sunday night, and it was weird because it's a very loud place. I'm just going to tell you, I work at the casino in Niagara Falls. It's usually a very loud and bright place. While they were shutting down the slot machines as we went, as areas were being emptied out, they were shutting down the slot machines, and we were closing all the table games, and I was one of the last 4 people off the floor for table games that night. It was weird, and it's something I hope I will never see again in my lifetime. Can't wait to get back there because there's so much going on at the casino and ready to go on as soon as we resume business. But we really think it's going to be, and prepare yourself, folks, this is not a 3-week break. There's no way that the curve is going to be flattened or whatever they're saying about the curve, there's no way 3 weeks is going to do it. I fully expect, this is my prediction, 5 to 7 weeks that most businesses will be shut down here in the spring of 2020. So hopefully you're still able to do some selling and some thrifting and some going through your profit piles and getting things online. Even if you can't continue to sell, at least you're getting them ready to sell. So strange days indeed. And I just want everybody that sees this and everybody in the thrifting and reselling community to stay safe, be smart. The less we go out, the shorter amount of time we'll have to stay in. So do your part and keep on working. Anyhow, that's it for now. I am off to do some research on the items I just bought online, and I will see you all very soon on another episode of M Cubed. Stay safe, everybody. Cheers.